Okay, how's everybody doing this evening? Yes, my name is Kent, the channel is EOS San Diego, and I'm going to talk a little bit tonight about EOS and the blockchain. And it's a Sunday evening here in Carlsbad, California. That's where I'm at. To be more specific, this is State Street, S-T-A-T-E Street. You can see it's pretty quiet tonight, and that's very unusual for this street, especially this time of year because the weather's getting really nice outside. A lot of people going to the beach. So this area gets very, very busy this time of year. To find this street this empty, it has to be a Sunday night late. So that's what it is. We're Sunday night very, very late. So anyway, I'm watching the price of EOS very closely right now because I see it staying over $4, which is a good sign. Hopefully it goes through 5 again. If it goes through 5, this will be the 3rd time this year that it's gone higher than $5. So it's gone up, it's gone down, it's gone up, it's gone down, now it's going up again. I'm hoping that this is a good sign that EOS breaks through $5 for the 3rd time, will continue to go up higher, and we don't see these lows again. That's what I'm predicting, that's what I'm hoping for, and I'm cautiously optimistic right now with the way things are going. So hopefully this will be the final time we see $4 and below prices, and it goes much higher because it's about the price. I mean, there's 2 things going on right now. You got the technology and you got the building, the applications, and you got all that going on in the blockchain, the progression of the blockchain, the building of the blockchain, the applications, all the stuff going on. And then you got the price, which is the other issue going on. Price and building. And they don't have to both be going the same direction. Price can be going down, building can be going up. And that's what we've actually seen here. So it's kind of an inverted thing going on right now. You have blockchain progressing very well, everything working very, very well. The block producer thing getting sorted out. I know a lot of people don't feel like that, but I do. I feel like the block producer thing is getting sorted out. I think the governance thing has been sorted out. I mean, pretty much everybody wanted to go with code. That's what they're going with. They're going with code. That's what everybody wanted. That's what we got. So I think that's getting sorted out. And people are starting to get used to it. The other thing going on right now is that technology continues to advance, building the projects continues to advance. Things are going in the right direction with that. I think it's just the fact that the price just hasn't really quite gotten there yet, but it will very, very soon. What I want to talk, the main thing I want to talk about tonight is I want to talk about how the EOS blockchain, how blockchain in general is going to do something that nothing else has done in this point in history, and that's allowed an entrepreneur or somebody with a good idea to be able to go to the public arena, public, I wouldn't say market, but access public help to develop that idea through an ICO, an airdrop, allowing people to get access to the token, get a piece of your idea. I mean, that's the greatest idea since the history of mankind, is the ability to get a community together to all help build something. And that's what I'm so excited about. This is going to put the whole equity market, the whole raising, crowdfunding, crowd whatever you want to call it, it's going to put it on its head. This is going to put Wall Street in a tailspin because we don't need them anymore. I mean, the idea of going and raising money to go public, much like Mark Cuban done and a lot of other people in the past have done, Zuckerberg, all these people, they've made billions by going to the equity market and raising money through having people participate with their idea. Now we can do that on the blockchain without spending millions and millions of dollars. So this is going to put the whole thing with the financial, the mega bankers and the not only the mega bankers, the investment bankers. This is going to completely rearrange the way the world is done. And it's going to allow people with great ideas to go out and get other people to help them out through a community, through the launching of a token. The issue is right now, and what happened so far is it hasn't happened. So people will always do the easiest thing first. And the easiest thing first is put a team together, come up with a great idea, go out and launch an ICO, raise a bunch of money, and then it stops because you raised a lot of money, you haven't built it yet, but you don't continue to advance because you're already successful. Because people just filled your pockets with money because you just had a great team and a great idea and you never built it. And that was the first thing that was going to happen. That was the easiest thing that's going to happen. That's what's happened. And that's why people are somewhat suspect of the ICO market, and that's what people should be. But the fact of the matter is the idea is the greatest in the history of the world. It's just that it just hasn't reached its fulfillment yet, because nobody's really been forced to go out there and build what it is they raise the money for. So in other words, it's like an IPO, initial public offering. You raise the money, but you never fulfilled the promise. If you don't fulfill the promise, of course, investors are going to call you fraud, everything else like that. And of course, with the laws, Securities and Exchange Commission regulations and rules and laws, you probably get yourself in a lot of trouble if you never completed the idea. But in the ICO market, there really wasn't the regulation behind it, so people could do it, and that's what happened. So the ideas kind of went ahead of the actual abilities of building and making it happen, and that kind of made it a failed project, made it a failed way of doing it. But that's like throwing the baby out with the bathwater, because the idea is the platform to do this is second to none. It's just that we needed to be forced to build the things that we promised, and I believe that's what's going to be happening very, very soon. This is the greatest opportunity for an entrepreneur ever to launch anything, is on a public blockchain. And I think that's going to make the whole world a different world to live in. And it's going to allow more people's ideas to flourish and get access to more and more people. And it'll allow you, a person out there that's looking for something to help them make money, to get involved with something that's going to be prosperous. It's like the very founding people with Facebook got very, very wealthy. Very founding people with Google got very, very wealthy. The very founding people with Microsoft got very, very wealthy. The founding people with a lot of ideas on the blockchain are getting very, very wealthy. So you're going to be able to leverage your investment on ideas with the blockchain, and very inexpensively. I mean, we're talking about micro pennies right now on some of these airdrops that are running on EOS right now. So you're talking about fractions of a penny. So just to buy something like that may turn into pennies, and could even turn into a lot more than that, dimes, dollars, or whatever. I've seen it happen a few times, but then, like we say, the idea never gets fulfilled. The idea never gets promised. The idea never gets built. So anyway, this is the best thing that's ever happened to us, is the ability to raise money on a public blockchain, to give investors a piece of your share of your idea, and then have that idea traded on a decentralized exchange. I've talked about this many times because that's my background. Is I was involved with the IPO market and raising money for public companies, of which I did for quite some time. And it was always a process. It was always hard. The initial people always made some money, but the investors that came in right after that generally didn't fare so well. And a lot of the ideas didn't make it. You'd be surprised how many ideas people have that raised public money that never made it in the IPO market, even though they spent millions and millions and tens of millions of dollars. It just never ever materialized, just kind of like with the ICOs. But with the ICOs, people don't even really try that hard. At least with the IPO, you had some restrictions on you, and if you didn't do anything, you were going to get in trouble with the investors, because the investors would file lawsuits against you. So this is the greatest idea I think that's ever come about, is the ability to disseminate ideas and projects and be able to get people to rally around it through a community, have it done on a public blockchain, have everybody access the idea, see it, utilize it, and even see how it's done if you have an open source code. So anyway, this is very important. I've heard other people talk about this, but never anybody that I thought really could articulate it very well. And I will continue to try to articulate this idea, because if you once get this idea in your mind and what's happening with this, you will become a blockchain enthusiast for life. And you will love the technology, and you will continue to be involved with the technology when you see how powerful it is for the individual entrepreneur and for somebody that's has an idea that's just looking for a little support, and make that idea into a reality on the blockchain, and have somebody supporting them in a community on a public exchange or a public DEX or a decentralized exchange. So anyway, that's my message. That this is going to be the greatest thing in the history of the world, and this will be the greatest idea in the history of the world. And it's going to be done through people with ideas, and people that get little support from people on the blockchain. And that's the way it's going to happen. And that's going to be exciting. It's going to be something big, and it's going to take a lot of people from poverty to success. A lot of people that haven't really done well investing, or people that are looking to do well for investing. this is going to be their opportunity to hit it big, just like somebody that invested early in Facebook, somebody that invested early in Google, somebody that invested early in hundreds and hundreds of other projects in Silicon Valley and on the internet today. Hundreds of projects, thousands of projects. Anyway, I appreciate you listening. Thank you very much.